Have you ever thought about what it feels like to be a part of one of the richest families in the world? The Al Nahyan family, who live in Abu Dhabi, are incredibly wealthy. In fact, they're the fourth richest family in the world. They have an astonishing $300 billion fortune. They're known for their extravagant tastes, owning everything from expensive cars and private airplanes to intricately designed buildings. In this video, we'll take a closer look at some members of the Al Nahyan family and see how they live their lavish lives. But before we dive in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. Alright, let's get started. Did you know that Abu Dhabi is not only the capital of the United Arab Emirates, but it's also the second largest city in the country? What's more, it's the richest of all 7 emirates when it comes to gross domestic product, GDP, and per capita income. And at the top of that wealth and luxury pyramid sits the Al Nahyan royal family. The Al Nahyan family, or the House of Nahyan, is one of 6 ruling families in the UAE. They've been in power for quite a while. Their regional rule dates back to 1793. Interestingly, they share a common ancestry with the rulers of Dubai. The Al Nahyan family is actually a branch of the House of Al Falahi, which is itself a branch of a tribe related to the ruling family of Dubai. Trying to figure out the exact wealth of the Al Nahyan family is like trying to untangle a knot. It's pretty difficult. That's because the lines between their private wealth and the state's assets can be blurry. But one thing is for sure. They've been ruling the UAE since it gained independence in 1971, starting with their first president, Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. And as you might expect, they're loaded. In fact, their net worth is estimated to start at least $300 billion. So how did they get so rich? Most of their wealth comes from the discovery of oil in the region in 1958. It changed their lives forever when they started selling that oil in the 1970s. But that's not the only source of their money. The Al Nahyans have invested in a lot of different things over the years. They've put their money into everything from Elon Musk's SpaceX to big data, fast food, and even Rihanna's Fenty lingerie line. And with all that money to play with, you can bet they have some seriously expensive items in their collection. Let's start with the current president of the UAE and ruler of Abu Dhabi, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, or MBZ as his friends call him. With a net worth of $30 billion, this guy really knows how to spend his money. Take his wedding to Princess Salama in 1981, for example. He didn't spare any expense. The wedding cost an estimated $100 million. He even had an entire stadium built with a capacity of 20,000 guests just for the 7-day celebration. However, that's just a small part of all the expensive things he owns. First of all, what's a billionaire without their own private yacht, right? Well, MBZ definitely has one. He owns the Rabdan, a 73.3-meter motor yacht built in Australia by Silver Yachts and delivered to him in 2007. The Rabdan is one of only 2 of its kind in the world and can reach a top speed of 27 knots, although its regular cruising speed is 25 knots. It's worth a cool $60 million and has 15 cabins that accommodate 14 guests and 16 crew members. But in true Al Nahyan fashion, the Rabdan is just one of at least 3 yachts in their fleet. The Al Nahyan family isn't just content with one fancy yacht. They have a whole fleet of them. The most impressive of the bunch is the Azam, owned by the late former president of the UAE and father of MBZ, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. This private superyacht was built by Lürssen Yachts in Germany and is an impressive 590 feet long, making it the world's longest yacht. It can go over 30 knots and is considered one of the most complex and challenging yachts ever built. And with a price tag of $650 million, it's one of the most expensive yachts. But the Al Nahyan family doesn't just stop at yachts. They also have a fleet of private planes and jets. MBZ alone has at least 5 Boeings, including a $450 million Boeing 747 and a $180 million Boeing 787. These planes are big enough to accommodate the entire royal family, because why settle for a small private jet when you're as wealthy and influential as the Al Nahyans? Moving on to another family member, Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan is worth an impressive $20 billion. He's known as the Rainbow Sheikh because of his huge and colorful car collection, which includes enough rainbow-colored cars to earn him his nickname. One of his famous rainbow cars is a classic Mercedes-Benz that he ordered for his wedding. Mercedes had to shut down their production just to focus on fulfilling the Sheikh's order. Talk about impressive. Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan car collection is not only colorful, but also completely outrageous. He's got an 8-wheeled Nissan Patrol, a giant Land Rover Jeep, and a massive Dodge Power Wagon with a living room, 4 bedrooms, and a bathroom. But the weirdest car in his collection is a globe-shaped motorhome with 9 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms inside. And if that's not enough, he's got a custom-built caravan modeled after the Sandcrawlers from Star Wars. It's the largest caravan ever made. With all those expensive cars, the Rainbow Sheikh needs a fitting home for them, right? Well, he's got that covered too. He built a giant metal pyramid garage in the middle of the desert to house his 200 cars. And to top it off, the garage serves as the Emirates National Auto Museum and is open to tourists. But Sheikh Hamad doesn't stop at cars. He's got a private island too. The island, known as Futaisi, covers a total area of 50 square kilometers. And just to make sure everyone knows who it belongs to, he built a canal into the island that spelled out his name. It was so big that it could be seen from space, but he had it covered up for some reason. Maybe he didn't want aliens to find him. And MBZ's brothers aren't far behind him in terms of extravagance and wealth. They, too, know how to live a high life and spend like kings. The Al Nahyan family's wealth isn't just limited to a few members. Plenty of them have impressive titles and positions. For instance, Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan serves as the National Security Advisor of the UAE and heads the Abu Dhabi Wealth Fund and the First Abu Dhabi Bank. Meanwhile, Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan is the billionaire Deputy Prime Minister of the UAE, as well as the Chairman of the Central Bank and head of the Federal Fund Emirates Investment Authority. You may not recognize their names, but you might recognize some of Sheikh Mansour's investments, like his City Football Group, which owns stakes in football clubs across the globe, including Manchester City Football Club. The Al Nahyan family's wealth doesn't just come from the UAE. They own the Royal Group, a conglomerate specializing in finance, tourism, robotics, and sports and entertainment. This has helped them amass an estimated $300 billion in assets all over the world. But the Al Nahyans don't just own businesses, they own properties too. One of their groups, Berkeley Square Holdings Group, owns the Berkeley Square House in London. And who do you think owns that group? None other than the president of the UAE himself. But the most impressive property owned by the Al Nahyan family is their palace in Abu Dhabi, the Qasr Al Watan. It's more than just a palace. It's a stunning marvel of wealth, architecture, knowledge, and craftsmanship. This palace serves as the presidential residence and a cultural and tourist landmark. Completed in 2017 and opened to the public in 2019, the palace is made of white granite and limestone, adorned with over 5,000 intricate designs and golden details, and cost a whopping $490 million. The palace has a central chamber known as the Great Hall, which sits in between the East Wing, or the House of Knowledge, and the West Wing, used for official purposes. The hall has a dome with a 37-meter diameter, and the most striking feature is a 12-ton chandelier made of 350,000 pieces of crystal and several compartments. It's truly a sight to behold. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed learning about the Al Nahyan family's incredible wealth, don't forget to show your support by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.